I fed an elephant by the hand.
And Brazil was amazing.
We even went surfing in the Indian Ocean.
Quite simple to understand what the bikers were telling me to do. Yeah.
This is the sequel to the hugely successful inaugural meeting of Breaking Boundaries. The activities you will see and hear about involve families. It's important that the participants exhibit great courage.
I was the first paraplegic in the history of British motorsport to race against able-bodied motorcycle racers. Through the Bike Experience charity, we show people what adaptations are required for what particular type of injury or disability.
Ride a motorbike? Like, how on earth am I going to ride a motorbike? When I'm on it, I feel totally free. You wouldn't know you're paralysed.
And we've now been helping out with silver linings, so people who've had brain injuries. We provide an experience.
I'm excited!
Excellent! Together, what people have said is we have felt stronger.
We undertook a wheelchair safari to Africa.
We went to the special needs school. We took them some donations. Some of the donations what we give them, they've never probably seen in their lives, seen or had. That must have put a smile to their faces.
And everybody was helping each other. There was no kind of concentration on people's disabilities.
For me, it was seeing the support workers, and it just made it so much easier for me as a parent to be able to let go. We are now parents again. We're not carers, we're parents. And that's the best.
We went to South Africa as strangers, but we come back as friends.
The warm can-do approach of CCMS, which is truly client-centred at its heart, is an organisation which I'm proud to have invested my time and effort to be part of.
We were thrilled this year to have our first French camp. We've been renovating the house for the last 3 years, and it really was incredible.
I'm sleeping here, so's Simon and Rory.
It was always a dream for Kate and I to have our family plus all our clients around one table, and we had that extended family in France. My son helped, her grandchildren were there helping. It was tremendous.
Maggie suggested to him that there was life after the case and suggested that she would take him surfing.
And it's just the inspiration of seeing all these people as well, doing all these different things. I just wanted to come and say, you can do it if you want to do it. They will help you.
After I had my accident, I thought my love for extreme sports could not continue, as I was told I would never walk again. Kim Chamberlain introduced me to Silver Linings. I then met Maggie Sargent and Nicola Cale. Since then, I have never looked back.
I would just like to add that after the conference last year, I felt really quite strongly and quite passionately about getting in. Thank you, Ben. very strongly and very passionately about getting involved in the organisation.
I would never have planned to surf with Sarah because it was too much to organise. But by doing it with a group, it made it possible. She was even pushing up on her arms and holding on with her arm, and I haven't seen her do that in a long time. The whole surfing session had given her fabulous physiotherapy and stretched her out.
If I go with a group, it might be better.
I was a ski instructor in Canada, and I met my wife skiing. And we have a family of 5 who are all good skiers. I really worried last year when Hamish's support team told us they were taking him skiing. As Hamish was once such a good skier, I dreaded the thought of it all coming flooding back to him, feeling devastated, seeing others on skis, and him not being able to. Well, how wrong could I be? Keeping alongside Hamish in his jet ski taxi, steered by Formula One driver Christophe, was nigh near impossible.
What's Maggie like on skis?
Getting there.
Can you take a ventilator-dependent, spinally injured person skiing?
We raised over £8,000. We are going. We will be skiing this winter.
You can get knocked down. It may seem like there's a mountain in front of you, but you can turn the obstacle into opportunity. Get back up and keep fighting.
This is the first gentleman to ever ski whilst on a ventilator. He's a Frenchman. His name is Claude.
It can be done, and good luck, Jonathan.
Had a brain injury 12 years ago. I challenged myself to complete a full triathlon to show awareness and fundraise for the Silver Lining charity.
I actually thought this year was going to be a quieter year. I thought I'd do a little less fundraising. I've probably done more. Got to over 570,000 now.
I've been injured now for 3 years, and I represent Great Britain at target shooting. And although I wasn't one of the GB athletes expected to win a place for Rio, I felt quite quietly determined to give it everything I had. In 2 years, being a Paralympian had gone from being an impossible dream to being a consideration, to seeming within my reach, to falling away, and now it was a reality. I was going.
As trips go from a family point of view, it was hands down the best trip I think we've ever had.
It's really important for us to have the carers there to look after Lachlan so that we can remember to parent the other 2 boys who sometimes get overlooked.
All of the trips when we ski are with Ski to Freedom, who really are the most amazing charity that open up the Alps for us.
On the night of November the 5th, 2013, I received a phone call at 8 p.m, the kind of phone call that nobody really wants to receive. My brother had nearly lost his life in a car accident. I believe it's a very important but quite overlooked fact that a young single man's key significant adult might not necessarily be mum and dad.
There is a compelling body of evidence that tells us that brain injury affects family members, sometimes more so than the person affected. 9 times out of 10 children tell me they think it was something they did.
Training is only any good if it changes your practice and if you've learned something from it.
Care, compassion, confidentiality, competence, commitment and courage. Your support workers are fantastic. They are the unsung heroes of the caring profession.
Some of you might remember myself and my 2-legged support worker. This is myself and my 4-legged support worker. There isn't much I don't think he can't do, to be honest, but most importantly, he's my companion.
We are a very happy pug family.
Me and Stewie are really happy to have Harry in our life.
In my view, there is no goal in the litigation worth more than good rehabilitation.
Now, what's really exciting is that the local BBC picked up on this story. 15,000 people watched this on Facebook.
Not a disability that defines you, but who you are and the way you approach life.
Using the energy that's inside each and every one of us to overcome obstacles and boundaries that are put in our way.
By doing it with a group, it made it possible.
But Maggie and Nicola had clearly gone over and vetted the whole place, and it was like clockwork.
Speaking to somebody who was qualified in helping me understand how I was feeling set me back on the road again to be helpful to my brother.
Maggie and her team should be commended.
Yeah, it spreads awareness, and these people hopefully will go and pass on what they've learned today to colleagues and friends and clients, and then the ripples just keep going, and that's what this is all about. That's what we're here for.
Thank you, Silver Lining. Thank you, CCMS. You are a lifesaver. Indeed, life changers.